time of applause. Please switch off your cell phones or put them in silent mode. Please avoid usage of sex, politics or religion in derogatory manner. Today, on the onset of Puja, I will be talking about the traffic problems that we all are facing. Do you know what would happen if we are on a 7-point crossing, typically in Park Circus crossing, and there are hundreds of cars that are flocking from every side? So at times it makes me miss the Toastmaster meeting, makes me miss most of my important meetings, puts my schedule in chaos and left me to struggle with traffic jam. So, and this becomes more prominent in case of Puja, and it starts not only before the Puja but much before the Puja. I think 2 months before the Puja, because of Puja shopping and all pandas that is being constructed on the alleys and lanes of the Kolkata. So it has really created a lot of chaos for school students, for children, because they repeatedly get late because of coming traffic. And so today we'll be talking a lot more about it. The Master of Ceremonies will take you forward on this. With this, I would like to welcome on stage a very dynamic Toastmaster of our club, who has done club and us really proud by winning the numerous speech contest, both at club level and area level. He will be contesting on division level, and we hope him all the best. Please put your hands together for our President at helm, Toastmaster Mohammed Afzal.
Keep it going for our Sergeant at Arms. Thank you, Toastmaster Shilpa, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I, as the President, welcome you all to the 489th meeting of Kolkata Toastmasters Club. Now, when we become Toastmasters, we make a promise towards the club, towards the organization, and we love to read it out once in a while to remind ourselves of the purpose behind meeting every week and doing something for 1.5 hours. So I would request all the Toastmasters present in the room to stand up for the Toastmasters promise. Only the Toastmasters. A Toastmasters promise. Being a Toastmaster means more than simply making a commitment to self-development. Everyone who joins a Toastmasters club is making a commitment to the club, to its members, and to the organization as a whole. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly.
To prepare all my speech and leadership projects to the best of my ability, basing them on projects in the Competent Communication Manual, Advanced Communication Manual or Competent Leadership Manual.
To prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments.
To provide my fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations.
To help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all the members to learn and grow.
To serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so.
To treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy.
To bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers.
To adhere to the guidelines and rules of all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs.
To maintain honest and highly ethical standards during the conduct of all Toastmaster activities.
Thank you all. In Toastmasters, we have this practice of recording each and everything that happens in each and every meeting, and we call it the minutes of the meeting. And there comes the role of our Secretary Toastmaster Anisha Agarwal, and she has prepared the minutes of the previous meeting and circulated among the members via mail. So I would request if the members have gone through it and found any changes that needs to be made.
No.
Thank you, Vishal. Any other member who has gone through it? Okay, so shall we consider the minutes of the previous meeting to be passed?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, though our secretary is absent, but we can have a round of applause for our efforts. Our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Silpa, spoke about the problems that we face during this puja season. Now, the Durga Puja of our West Bengal is famous all over the world. But people who live here only know the problems that we face during that time. And one of them being the eternal traffic jam. But no matter, one thing that I would like to make a point here is that no matter how long the traffic jam is every year, but people come out in no less numbers every year to go for pandal hopping, the fun, the excitement, because they know that the problems they face is worth it, is worth the excitement that they would receive. And what if we inculcate this belief in our lives, that the problems we are facing, the struggles that we are going through will somehow lead us to something beautiful when we will realize that it was worth it. And besides this famous Durga Puja, our land of Bengal is always famous for welcoming its guests wholeheartedly. And in Toastmasters too, we love to welcome our guests and know about them. So we will have a quick round of introduction from our guests. You just need to mention your name and from where did you get to know about this Toastmasters program. So starting from this side, sir.
Myself, Sarwan, I come to know about Toastmasters from Toastmasters Kolkata.
Thank you for coming.
I came to know about Toastmasters from a classmate.
Thank you.
This is my second meeting and I came to know through Toastmaster Mukund Mukma. Right now he's not here, he's my brother, so I came to know through.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening everyone. Myself Sohaib Ishani. I came to know about Toastmasters from my client Shweta. Thank you.
I know Toastmasters from my friend Shweta.
And I came to know about social media. Okay.
I got to know about Toastmasters from one of my friends in Hyderabad and got connected to Aditi and thank you.
And Kritika Kush, I came to know about Toastmasters from my brother-in-law.
Thank you.
Good evening everyone, my name is Ketan Tripathi and I got to know about Toastmasters from your Facebook page.
I came to know about Toastmaster from my friend Sakshi.
Good evening everybody, my name is Sakshi Darpan. I came to know about the Toastmasters through a fellow friend who is an ex-Toastmaster. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. My name is Shashank. I came to know about Toastmasters from my friend Abhishek. Thank you.
Good evening everyone, I am Manish. I came to know about Toastmasters from Manish.
Good evening everyone, my name is Abhishek. I knew about it from my elder brother.
Good evening everyone. I am Tisha Ghosh. Actually, this is my third meeting and I came to know about Toastmasters Club from one of my friends.
Hi, I'm Anirudh Kamari. I came to know about Toastmasters from Siddharth and Vishal.
We have just got two guests. Just mention your name and from where did you get to know about it?
I'm Edward Manka. I got to know through a relative.
Okay, thank you for coming. Your guest. Just mention your name and from where did you get it.
My name is Nitesh and I get to know about Toastmasters from one of my friends. She is also a participant. Her name is Priyanka Chan.
Thank you all for joining us here and I hope you have a good time. And now it's time for me to introduce the Master of Ceremonies. We will be taking you throughout the Toastmaster session and we'll explain you what we will be doing for the next 1.5 hours. And the person who has been given this responsibility is very sincere and hardworking. Because whenever she takes up any role or tries to deliver a speech, she always makes sure that it is the best. Now, it is normally said that when people come on stage, they talk about things which they love or things about which they fear. And now, when she comes up on stage, she talks about her mother-in-law. And I don't know, it is out of love or out of fear. Or maybe both, a lovely fear. And she was quite irregular these days, but she again got back into that pace, and I'm sure she has something very beautiful in store for us. So please help me invite on stage, along with the blessings of her mother-in-law, the master of ceremonies for tonight, Toastmaster Vandana Agarwal.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
And thank you also for introducing me and my mother-in-law. Thank God I could reach here on time for the meeting. I took 1.5 hour instead of 45 minutes, which I generally take, because of the traffic and yes, because of pujas. As much as I enjoy offering puja pandals and long vacations, I hate Kolkata traffic during those times. No matter how hard do I try to avoid the usual traffic hours, but I'm feeling that I'm spending more time in traffic than in my office or at my home. But eventually, when we go to puja pandals, to the mesmerizing, magnanimous, exotic pandals, we tend to forget a month-long promise. The city of joy lights up, not only with lights, but with a lot of joy in everybody's heart. A Toastmasters journey is similar to a situation like this. The learning, the hard work, the practicing sessions can become sometimes very taxing, but eventually when the person realizes that he's more confident on the podium and he's a better speaker, everything seems worthwhile. Usually our Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 segments. Segment number 1, a prepared speech segment, where a Toastmaster prepares a speech as per the objectives mentioned in the CC manual, and he takes a help from a mentor. He takes quite some time and puts in lots of efforts, and when he gets a good evaluation and a great round of applause, everything seems worthwhile for him. The second segment is a table topic session, which is similar to a situation. For example, suppose you have to go from one place to another and you know that the distance is very short and the traffic is also getting huge. What do? You somehow just move on. Even if the vehicle stops, what you would do is you would just get down and walk towards it. Walk towards your destination. Why do we do that? Either we really have to do it or we really want to do it. Similar is our second segment, which is a table topic segment, where a speaker speaks for 1 to 2 minutes on the topics which are offered by table topic master. Anybody from the audience can come here and speak on those topics. And it's just a matter of 1 minute. So even if you're not prepared, even if you're not good, I recommend you all must come here and try being on the podium and try your speaking skills. Then comes the third session, which is similar to a situation. Suppose you are stuck in a traffic jam, and after you come back home, your husband or your wife or your mother or your mother-in-law tells you how stupid you were and how you could have taken a better route. And then you think, yeah, she's right. I should have taken that route. So the evaluation session, the third session, is this. Though it sounds less troublesome, less horrible than this, but the evaluator tells the speaker how to improvise on his speech and all his good points where he was good. We also have a general evaluator of the day who evaluates the meeting right from the beginning till the end. Our general evaluator of today's meeting is somebody who has been with the club since the inception of the club. Somebody who is very devoted towards the club. Somebody who tries to attend each and every meeting as much as possible. When I asked him, what does he think about the Kolkata traffic and how does he avoid it? He says, yes, even if the traffic is huge, Kolkata police is managing it very well. And the best way to avoid the traffic is just go out of Calcutta. How convenient is that? So please put your hands together for the general evaluator of the day, the passionate, the brilliant, the wordsmith, Toastmaster Siddharth Churiwal.
Thank you, Vandana ji, for such a lovely introduction. I am the general evaluator for today, and as she was saying in my introduction, that the best way to avoid Calcutta traffic is to avoid it completely by going out of the city. So I gave this reasoning because I am going out of the town during Durga Pujas for vacation. And I am the general evaluator for today. My job is to evaluate the meeting right from the time when Sergeant Announced called meeting to order till the end when President closes the meeting. And to help me in my role, I have certain role players. And the first person is the grammarian, Toastmaster Anshika. Could you please explain your role?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone. My role today is of the word master as well as of the grammarian. As the word master, I am introducing the word of the day, which is C-O-M-E-L-Y, pronounced as comely, which means pleasing or attractive to the eye. For example, since Janice lost 20 pounds, she has become very comely to many of the boys at her school. So I request each and everyone to use this word as often as you can, and on speakers' usage of this word, audience should put their thumbs up instead of applauding. And as a grammarian, my role is to keep a track of all the pronunciation mistakes and good usage as well as wrong usage of grammar. I'll present my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
If I remember correctly, the last time I heard the word comely was from Katrina Kaif's mouth. Wow, I'm so surprised that everyone is thinking of the same thing. So from a very comely Katrina Kaif, we'll move on to our counter, Samta Roy. Could you please explain your role?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and a very good evening to all of you. Today I, as a counter, will be keeping a track of number and times using words which are filler words or crutch words such as or basically etc., which actually leaves audience and our message unclear. And I will also keep a tab on long pauses that are deliberately used by the speakers, and I will submit my report at the end of the meeting.
Thank you so much. Timer, Rohan, could you please explain your role?
Thank you, General Evaluator, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My role as a timer today entails to record the time taken by all the people who are on the podium today. Let's start with the prepared speeches. Time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. I'll be showing the following cards: green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. The next session is the table topic session. Time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. Green at 1, yellow at 1 minute 30, and red at 2. And finally, the evaluation session, where the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. Green at 2, yellow at 2 minutes 30, and red at 3 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on both the upside and downside on all the sessions, except table topic, where there is only an upside grace of 30 seconds. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Parliamentarian Mayank Mohta, could you please explain your role?
Evaluator. Good evening, everyone. When we talk about traffic rules, we are afraid to break the rules because we think we might be fined. But here at Toastmasters, we expect you to follow the rules because we expect you to be disciplined. My role will be to ensure that parliamentary norms are followed throughout the meeting. Specifically, I will request members to avoid looking at their phones while a speaker is on stage, avoid side talks, show a thumbs up instead of applauding a member on using the word of the day, which is comely, ensure handshakes when entering and leaving the podium, Avoid any prompting without prior permission from the president. Avoid the usage of sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. Use full forms of all Toastmasters related terms like competent leadership, Project 1, and similar terms. I'll present my report by the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Walk after Shamita.
Kolkata's Durga Puja is definitely one of the best in the entire world. There's no doubt about that. The entire city springs up, it overcrowds the streets just to get a glimpse of that magnificent pandals or pandals. I'm not sure what's the correct pronunciation for that. And of course to enjoy, just completely enjoy the festivities. While all our focus is on wowing over these celebrations, the most daunting and challenging task goes to the Kolkata police force. They have the challenge to control this traffic, and for me, the most wow moment is that they actually do get it right. Despite the chaos, they get it right. They manage it very well effectively, despite the crowds. So I hope tonight there will be a lot of wow moments that the speakers may be able to give to us, and I'll be delivering 3 of these wow moments with my report during the evaluation session.
Thank you. Our CL champion Narayan, could you please explain your role?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We in Toastmaster follow 2 tracks: competent communication (CC) and competent leadership (CL). So debate speeches comes under the competent communication track, and role plays like grammarian, timer, or general evaluator comes under the CL track. So my role is to note down all the role players who will be playing this role from CL manual. So can I project 8? Anyone else playing role from CL manual? Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So I remember meeting Vandana ji at her home with her mother-in-law, and she doesn't look at all like the devilish kind of lady. She is quite a comely lady, and so I don't know why you are so much scared of her, because before coming to her house she was always talking about whether my mom-in-law will be present, this and that, blah 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 blah. But always remember one thing about the famous TV show, क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहू नहीं, you will one day become the same kind of woman in front of your daughter-in-law. With this, I hand it back to Vandana.
So let's move on to our journey of Toastmasters Club meeting today. Our first speaker, let's start with the prepared speech session. Our first speaker is giving her project 3, and her mentor is Toastmaster Narayan Rathi. Her evaluator would be Toastmaster Shaurya Roy. Shaurya, could you read out the objectives of the project 3?
Thank you, Master Ceremonies, and good evening to the Toastmasters and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
The speaker will be delivering our project 3, and the objectives are: select a speech topic and determine its general and specific purposes. Organize a speech in a manner that best achieves those purposes. Ensure the beginning, body, and the conclusion reinforce the purposes. And project sincerity and conviction and control any nervousness you may feel. Best of the speaker. And timer, please no timer is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
The speaker for today is someone who has a lot of guts and who has a great sense of humor, because I saw her once in a stand-up comedy show. I mean, not a show, but I saw her doing stand-up comedy once. When I asked her what she thinks about the Kolkata traffic and how she avoids this, she says, Puja traffic teaches people what patience is. And to avoid it, she doesn't go out of the house because she doesn't have patience. I told you she has a great sense of humor. Her speech title is Filter's Mentor. And please put your hands together for the speaker of the day, for the confident, charming, and the charmer, the Toastmaster, Alisha Khan.
If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at changes. Any idea what does this mean?
Your perspective defines the world you live in.
Technically, he's right. But actually, this means that it's a chaotic quote and it says if you change the look, how you look will totally change. Good evening, Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
It's no secret that our life has totally changed into a social networking site. The way we use filters in our pictures, the same way we have started using filters on our brain to see different situations. Like some people use black and white filters when they feel sad. Some people use tricolor filters when they feel patriotic. And some people even use animal filters when they feel funny or for that matter happy. But there's a big but, and that is everyone does not use the same filter for the same reason. If you are using black and white filter to show sadness, maybe for me it's in happy color. Everyone's perception is totally different. People think that perception is a passive process, but actually it's an active rather than a passive process. You construct how you want to see the world around you. For instance, let me make it easier and simpler for everyone to understand it. Think for a moment about a bee. Once I was in a botanical garden and over there a bee stung me. And from that day I hate bee and I say that the objective of the bee is to sting people. But over there were more few people and one of that person was a philosopher. A philosopher over there calmly admires the bee and says that the objective of the bee is to sip nectar from the flowers and take it home. There was another person, a beekeeper, who says that the objective of the bee is to collect nectar, turn it into honey and feed it to the young ones. There were one more person and that was a botanist. He said that the objective of the bee was to collect honey and also help the plants and flowers to hybridization and in pollination. As you can see, that the perception of the observers depends totally on the observer's assumption and perception. This is not to say that we experience totally different things, but we experience different aspects of things. Like, this shows like we build our own reality. A Hindu's vision of a cow is no way corresponding to that of a canning factory meat packer. And in Istanbul, they keep their pigs in zoo rather than turning them into sausages. We build our own reality. And in this reference, there's one more example, and that is even colors are a product of our hair. Once, Vincent van Gogh told his brother that he could see 27 shades of grey. Little did he know that in future, Sam Taylor Johnson would be able to see 50 shades of grey and would turn that thing into a movie. Keeping that thing aside, who knows your red is the same as my red. But it's no secret that if you see things from a negative lens, things will turn out to be negative. If you think that life is a giant tragedy and you are the helpless victim, guess what? You will remain that. By thinking this, you are essentially enabling a self-unfulfilling prophecy. You are who you believe you are. The world around you exists the way you want it to see. By this, you're just constructing barriers which have no reason to be up there. So it seems that if you see things from a positive perspective, or for that matter, differently, the whole situation changes. Like some people can even reduce pain by seeing the pain in a different way. And it's a fact. Researchers of the Oxford University discovered a way of inverted binocular treatment for people. Remarkably, when you see the pain from the wrong side of the binoculars, it diminishes the pain and the swelling in the wound. This is the perception of your mind. And thus, the researchers said that over here, even basic bodily sensations are product of your perceptions. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you feeling stuck in your life, or for that matter, not being able to find solution for your problems? Might it be because of the perspective, or might it be because of the idea which you already have is not the best possible idea for your problem? Then you should just reconsider what you are doing and what you actually want to accomplish in life. Sometimes that is all you need to accomplish. So consider trying this. When you feel stuck, or for that matter frustrated, take a step back and see things clearly. And then ask yourself certain questions. the right filter? Am I seeing too hard? Or what are the other important things which I'm ignoring, which I'm ignoring just because I don't use them often? You just, by changing the way you look at things, can bring clarity. You can discover new options. It can even help you discard old habits and bad habits which no longer serve you. Don't be afraid of changing your perception. Don't be afraid of using the new filter just because people around you won't be accepting it. Do what you want to. Be confident in what decision you want to take and what you have taken, and never regret it. Thank you.
Today, we just have one speech. Probably all the rest of the members, including me, are stuck in traffic jam. Now we move on to our second session, the table topic session, where everybody gets a chance to come on the podium and speak for 1 to 2 minutes. More about this thing will be told by our table topic master. Now, our table topic master is someone whom I've seen growing leaps and bounds. He's not, right now, he is busy building his six packs, and not only that, he's also busy trying to become a great orator. When I asked him what he thinks about pujas and puja traffic and how he avoids it, he says that puja traffic is a part of celebration of Durga Puja. It has its own charm. How positive is that? So please put your hands together for the table topic master of today, the confident, the handsome, the awesome Toastmaster, Narayan Rathi.
Well, thank you very much, Toastmaster Vandanaji, for that introduction. Once again, a very good evening, respected Toastmaster, dear guest.
Good evening.
Good evening. In this section, table topic session, my role is to throw a topic, and any volunteers can come up on stage and can speak for minimum 1 minute and maximum 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But today we'll be doing something different, which is, in this section, we'll be having 3 sessions. In first session, you can volunteer. Anyone who wants to speak can raise their hand and come up on stage and can speak. In the second session, I'll pick the audience. I'll pick from audience. No one is allowed to raise their hands. And in the third session, anyone from the audience can appoint or can nominate anyone to speak on podium. So let's start with our first session. And I will repeat the topic only twice, and no one is allowed to prompt from the audience. So let's begin with our first session. So can I have the volunteers, please? Shilpa ji. Can we have a loud round of applause, please? Shilpa ji, your topic is journey brings the happiness, not the destination. Journey brings the happiness, not the destination.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
Journey is the process through which we reach our destination. So it is like when you start, you go through various experiences to reach your goals finally. And journey is as important as the end or your target. So it happens, let me give you an example. Suppose we are fasting, putting a fast, and the whole fast, if we break it right in the morning, it will make no sense. It is the entire day journey where we crave for food, we understand that we are feeling hungry, and we are making small sacrifices that ingrains the feeling in our mind and gives us that experience that maybe we are detoxifying our body, or maybe we are doing some rituals or following some customs because of which we are fasting. So it is the entire process that remains in our mind instead of just the end result that we have fasted today and we have broken the fast. It happens when we follow Karma Chauth or something. So it is the entire thing that makes it ingrained in our memory, and the process of this journey is as important. Maybe it is your exam process, maybe a journey of exams, So the day of examination, more than the day of examination, the entire process where you are studying and what all you are going through it makes more importance and gives us more memories than just the end result, that is the destination where you just arrive or deliver something. So in the Toastmaster thing, the whole journey of prepared speeches, making it up for 40 times, 30 times, repeating it, and then coming here and performing is more important than just coming here and giving the speeches. That's it.
The best thing I like about her is she's the first one to raise her hand in the table topic section. This shows how she wants to improve and at a great rate. So can we have the second volunteer, please? Okay, Toastmaster Archita. So I'll give you my favorite topic, which is for every promise there is a price to pay. For every promise there is a price to pay. Toastmaster.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
For every promise, there is a price to pay. This reminds me of one person who's reminded me of this every single day of his life. My father. He made 7 promises and he's paying for a very long time. Friends, we don't realize at the time of making a promise, because at that time, you are looking at that individual to whom you are promising something. It's only that individual that matters. It's only the words that the other person wants to hear is what you say. And you don't analyze how much or how difficult it can get for you to make sure that promise is fulfilled. It's easy to tell someone, don't worry, I will give one speech every single month, VP Education, it is my promise. And when they message you, you don't reply back. And the price that you pay is every time they try to look at you, you try to hide. It's the promise that you make to the table topic master. I promise to come on the podium next time. And when they ask for volunteers, what? You have to pay the price for every promise that you make. But trust me, for every promise that you fulfill, you get a reward that is beyond satisfaction. Every time that you fulfill a promise, that one smile on someone's face is everything that you need, is everything for which it's okay to take all that trouble and fulfill the promise. It's okay to stand here and shiver, come and give your speech, but then VP Education tells you, you've done a great job and you fulfilled the promise. It's that one smile that truly matters. And trust me, the day you see the smile of a fulfilled promise is the day you will realize that no price is too high to pay to get that smile.
This shows how great impromptu speaker you are. Well, how many guests have come for the first time or second or for the third time? Okay, wonderful. There's a great news for you. You guys also can take part in this section. And why I didn't tell you in the beginning or in the introduction, because I actually wanted you all to see how this goes, how members come on podium and speak. So now feel free to raise your hand and come on podium and speak. Well, can we have the volunteers from both the guests and members for the third topic? Okay. Toastmaster Neeraj. The topic is a free lunch is only found in mousetrap. A free lunch is only found in mousetrap.
There was a time when my father used to tell me that, as a person who earns more than they need, you should donate. So I used to believe that, yes, it is my duty and my privilege to come and help people. So I used to stand in line outside my office, and there was a line of people who wanted to have lunch for free. And I was just be like, okay, it's fine, they're poor, they don't really have much, we should help them. I stood there, I helped those people, and I was feeling really good about myself that I've really benefited 25 people that day. And after doing this, I felt so good about myself that I was telling everybody in my office that we should do this every day or every week. And then this guy comes tapping on my shoulder, and I look at him, and I'm like, what? And he's like, sir, uska paisa? I was like, oh yeah, I have to pay you for that. I completely forgot. I was in that field. I paid him. It was not that much of an amount, and I forgot about it. The other day, I was walking down that road, and he saw me and hailed me, and he's like, come here, sir. I was like, yes, please tell me. You haven't fed these people in a really long time. I was like, yeah, I don't have the time. I can't really do this. But you have to, sir. What will they eat? I was like, it's not really my problem. Find somebody else. It went on like this. I went there a couple of times, and he kept catching me, and I realized, had I helped them out of my selfish need to get that one good feeling, or was I really helping them because I wanted to help people? I realized that doing anything for people or doing anything for the society, it comes from our own need to feel good. If you look at it from a point of view of a mousetrap, we end up thinking that all of these things don't cost us that much, that we put ourselves out there for very little amount and help people, but in the end of the day, we end up paying a larger price than we bargained for. Thank you.
The trophy of the best impromptu speaker really awaits your hands. Please, try coming in more, improve, polish your skills, and the day is yours. So, this topic is for the guests. Can we have a raise of hands from the guests? Okay, please, sir.
My name is Nitesh.
The topic is, nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity.
Good evening to all present. This is my first speech, and my topic is, nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. As Rabindranath Tagore said that God's gifts are free and devil's wares are expensive. When God gives you an opportunity, or by any grace you get an opportunity, you need to make it count, because no opportunity does not knock your door twice. As an accountant, as a chartered accountant, and I was told that we do selective studies at times, because at times syllabus gets big too far. So whether to be doing this or whether we should be leaving that, I didn't know. My teacher told me that it's better to be prepared and not get an opportunity, rather than not be prepared and get an opportunity and find yourself wanting. So yes, opportunity comes and you need to make it count, and you need to be good enough to capitalize yourself. Like, I'm taking my opportunity, I want to learn to speak, and I don't know how far I can go, but I'm making my opportunities count.
That was really well tried. Well, now we are moving towards our second section, where I'll pick from the audience. The first speaker in the second section will be Toastmaster Siddharth. Can we have a loud round of applause, please? I'll give you a topic. I'll give you a topic which is like a favorite line from one of my most favorite movies, which is, win the crowd to win your freedom. Win the crowd to win your freedom. Toastmaster Siddharth.
Win the crowd and
to win your freedom.
Win your freedom. Well, this topic takes me to the thoughts of great freedom fighters who has brought great laurels to our country, and the only reason they are able to bring laurels to our country is because they were able to win the crowd and got India freedom. I remember Mahatma Gandhi, what did he do? He got into Dandi March, he got the crowd together, and he got everyone together. Why? And that's because they won the crowd. Similarly, any other freedom fighter or any other great personality, they're all good orators. They were able to mobilize the audience, they were able to capture the imagination of the audience in such a big manner that they were able to win the crowd, and they got the crowd together. Thank you.
He is actually a great evaluator, wonderful speaker, but really he comes on table topic session. So this was actually my try to put him in table topic session. Then the next speaker from the audience will be, okay, Can we have on stage Toastmaster Rohan, please? Well, when I heard your project 2 or project 3, you were like speaking like Sadhguru or something like that. So the topic will be, if you want to be happy, be. If you want to be Rohan.
A lot of people, they claim to preach that I have the antidote, I have got the formula, I've got the secret recipe that's going to make you happy for the rest of your life. I've got the formula that you can follow day in, day out, and you're going to be happy, you won't be sad, you won't ever feel any tension. You see friends, happiness, as a great man has said, is simply a state of mind. You can choose to be tensed in even the lightest of situations, or you can choose to be calm and happy in the direst and in the gravest of situations. It really depends on your state of mind, it depends on your maturity, and it depends on your perspective. A few pointers if I had to give to people about being happy, I would just say a very simple trick that my dad had once told me is to be grateful. Is to be grateful for whatever things that you have, whatever little things that you have been given in life or what you have achieved in life. Once you start in that process, you will start thinking in a way which is very positive and which will spread the happiness amongst the people around you and amongst your community. So my only message to all of you is try to look at all the situations, try to look at all your perspectives in an objective manner, try to bring something positive out of it and live your life every day to your fullest and try to be happy every day. Thank you, and back to you, table topic.
Great gurus like Baba Ram Rahim or Asana there's a place for you, Rohan. Now I would like to take a lady from the guest who is actually trying from the first topic to come up on stage. Can we have you on stage, please, ma'am? Yeah. Okay. Your topic is what gives your life meaning? What gives your life meaning?
Okay, good evening everybody.
Good evening.
Shweta here. Please apologize me if I go over anywhere wrong. It's my first time. Can you please again say what gives happiness, right?
What gives your life meaning?
Okay, life meaning consists of many things. For some, life meaning consists of business. For some, life meaning consists of going out with friends, hanging around. For some, life meaning consists of parents, worshipping them. So life meaning itself is a very vast subject and it's hold lots of meaning. For me, life meaning is like vast. It gives me everything. It gives me life. What to do, how to go about it. Just live your life. Instead of cribbing, like this happened, that happened, etc., etc. It is like living your life to the fullest. Like giving happiness. Living his life is living you. Exactly not being other person. How others say do this, do that. Instead, it's being you yourself, what you are actually, and the people who are appreciating you. So giving of life meaning is that, life is full consisting of joy, happiness, and being grateful, grateful to the universe for what you are right now, for what you are doing right now, for everything. Thank you.
She is attending this meeting for the second time and coming up on podium. Great job, seriously, great job. Okay, raise your hand who did come on table topic from past 2-3 months. Any members? Yeah, please don't feel ashamed to raise them. Yeah, we do have. I want the audience who did come on table topic from past 3 months, raise their hands. And okay, yeah. Let's call our president to and how he is in table topic, and I'm sure he'll be great. Can we have here a loud round of applause, please? Easy topic for you. This is what you say, right? still stuck in your mind? Would you like to share that thing? What is something which you have read but still stuck in your life, in your mind?
Thank you, Toastmaster Narayan, for being so generous, for giving me the easiest, if I can talk on that. The thing which I read, I've read few books, but the thing which is still stuck in my mind is few lines from the book Alchemist by Paul Coelho. First translating it telling it in Hindi. तुम किसी चीज को अगर पूरी शिद्दत से पाना चाहो तो पूरी कायनात तुम्हें उसे मिलाने में लग जाए. Somehow related to SRK, so I told this in his words. Translating it, if you really want to achieve something, the whole universe conspires to help you get that thing. And I actually believe that this because throughout my life, be it in childhood, in teenager, I'm still a kid by the way, and this adulthood. First of all, in the earlier phase, I never used to be that good student, but somehow I wanted to be, and I really got personal help from teachers, and which helped me become somehow a good student. One of my classmates is sitting here, so he's second me. And coming to the later life, yeah, this lines actually works. Believe me, and if you want more examples, meet me offline. So, thank you. Now I've spoken for more than 1 minute 30 seconds. Over to you.
Okay, I'll give you my feedback offline. Well, guys, please just think who we want to nominate for this third section, but a bit twist. People who came on podium can only nominate. No one sitting in the audience can. So before coming to the third section, I would like to invite a guest. Sir, can you please come on podium for your table topic? Because you were really trying to come on. A loud round of applause, guys. Better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing flawlessly. Better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing flawlessly.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I apologize beginning if I go ahead with some mistakes because my English is not very good. Can you please repeat the topic?
Better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing flawlessly.
Each and every individual here sitting is in the search of miraculous formula for success. Good evening, everyone. Myself Shoaib. The topic that he raised is like to do something with imperfection rather than sitting in the you can say sitting back in the bench and doing nothing. Something like we would have heard in our childhood so many times. The ship is made to sail, not to be at the shores. So basically, what happens when we do something initially, we don't know the process how it goes on. So what happens is like not knowing the process, we get nervous, we get not confident about doing the things. The thing that is happening right now with me is like I'm a bit nervous right now here. You can find it that, but the point is I'm trying to go with the flow, and I can find myself already crossed 1 minute limit, and this is how it happens, because unless and until you don't try something, it doesn't happen. Thank you.
One thing which I have learned in Toastmaster is you should commit mistake but never ask for forgiveness, because you are here to improve, not just to ask for forgiveness. So you can. Okay, now it's time for the third session. First, I would ask Toastmaster Siddharth, would you like to nominate anyone for this table topics?
To nominate my brother Vishal.
The topic is, I want to hear from you something great, something which you haven't said me, like except fun and everything. So the topic is, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Wow. Thank you for the topic. This table topic session would too shall pass very soon. Thank you, Boss Table Topic Master, and thank you, Siddharth, for putting me in the spot after a very long time speaking on table topics. But the topic is this too shall pass. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in Sudan recently. About day before yesterday, I was in a North African country, Sudan. So I got experience. I'll share a small experience from there. So I was in the main city. Sudan, the capital of Sudan is Khartoum. So I was there in Khartoum, and then one of my clients took me to a place which is 400 kilometers away from the main city. I was there driving with him, and so we went on and on. This is the first time that I was meeting my client, and the whole country is like that. There's absolutely, you don't even see a leaf moving in the entire country, and you're driving on and on and on for about 2-3 hours. I was almost literally in my pants because. And in my head, I was constantly thinking the same thing. This too shall pass. So at the end of 4 hours, I reached the factory where it took me. And one of the things which I really liked, not looking in the hindsight, I really liked, but when I was there, so there was a lot of in this factory in Khartoum. Sudan is not a very developed country, so there were a lot of mosquitoes, and it's very underdeveloped. And what happened was we were having dinner together the cook made the food, and there was chauffeur with us, and then there was my client, and there was I, 4 people. And I'm a non-vegetarian, right? So I thought, okay, I'm non-vegetarian, I can do with any kind of food there. So I was there, and when they made the food for me, I could not realize what is beef, what is goat, what is chicken. But although I said, okay, forget about my religion, I'll have whatever, because I was very hungry. So and when they serve together, the good thing is about all of them have food together. As and when I was having, I was just thinking to my head, this too shall pass. I'll not forget about my religion for it, but I'll cater to my stomach that time. So I realized one very important thing is the human equality in this whole thing. When the cook, the chauffeur, me and my client, all of us were having food together in the same plant. Although there were a lot of things which happened in my head which was going against my general notion, but otherwise I had a very good time, and that's it.
Hearing you after a long time in table topics, and that's really nice. You should come and more often, please. Well, next, whom would you like to nominate? Whom? Okay, you, whom, man? Gaurav Gyani. Okay, Toastmaster Gaurav Gyani, can we have you on stage, please? Gaurav, your topic is improvement begins with I. Improvement begins with I. Gaurav.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Improvement begins with I. The alphabet I. I can't think of anything. So, what do you define as improvement? Improvement can be in many stages of your life, can be in many aspects of your life. Improvement as in improvement in the way you speak at Toastmasters, improvement in the way you present yourself in public, improvement in the way you write, improvement in anything, any part of your life. So it begins with I. If you don't put your foot down, if you don't make the first initiative to improve, initiative also starts with I. So if you don't make the first step, if you don't take the first step, you will not be able to improve in whatever you want to improve in. Okay, this is the most random thing I can think of. I'm helping my friend here, Tanisha. She's a guest. She comes very often. I'm helping her improve the way she looks by making her lose weight. She's lost about 15 kg. So you can give her a round of applause for that. My friend Rakshita also needs to lose weight. I can help her improve with that too. Thank you.
Well tried, Gaurav. This is the last topic, and anyone from the volunteers can come up here and speak on it. Ma'am, please. Topic is, if you take take the plunge, you have to swim. If you take the plunge, you have to swim.
Good evening, one and all. My name is Ms. Kankeria. This is my 6th meeting, and I took the plunge. Now I need to swim. It's a great pleasure. All the 6 times when I was sitting over there, I thought that no, I need to go, I need to go, I need to go. And this first session went off, that voluntary session that I need to come up. Then third time I thought, no, if no one is coming, I'm going there. To just not say a different anything else, but just to speak up, so that I don't have any grudges after leaving back at home, lying down at bed, 10 o'clock. Yeah, I could have spoke anything, like anything. So that's all. Thank you.
This is the end of the table topic section. I hope you have enjoyed it and you have learned it too. So let's proceed with the meeting and call the Master of Ceremonies on stage again. Can we have a loud round of applause for Toastmaster Vandana Agarwala?
A great session. Don't you all agree? How did you like the session?
Good. Great.
It was a good session with a lot of twists. Not a single twist, but a lot of twists. Now is the time for the third session, the evaluation session. For that, I would like to call the general evaluator of the day, Toastmasters, Siddharth.
Thank you, Vandana. So today we had only one speaker. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Alicia, and she was being evaluated by Toastmaster Shaurya. Could you please give your evaluation?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and good evening to the Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and especially Toastmaster Alicia. Firstly, congratulations on completing the project 3 from the Competent Communication Manual. Today, your speech was about an idea which was relevant to the whole of audience. Today, you informed us about the usage of different filters, about how it connects to the perceptions of different people. Today, you persuaded us to change our perceptions towards the perspectives of other people. Today, you inspired us to consider other people's perspectives, and today, you entertained us when you spoke about your personal story, about how you were stung by a bee, and about how that changed your perception towards the perspective of other things in the nature. And then, in the introduction, you had a rhetorical question which was greatly written, and also the fact that you used your arms naturally in the middle of your speech was great. But as being said, the most crucial parts of the speech are the introduction and the conclusion. And today in a project 3, one of the objectives was to control your nervousness. And when you clasp your arms like this in the introduction and the conclusion, it shows that you are nervous, even though for a little bit, but you are nervous. So maybe you need to work on it a little bit more. And then in the beginning, you used a rhetorical question, and Toastmaster needed responded to you. And after that, you said something like, technically you are right, technically he is right. But then you could have conducted with him on one level by saying, technically you are right. That could have maintained a better contact with the audience. And also, you could have done a better job with your transitions. Today, your speech had great sub-points when you spoke about the different perspectives of the doctor, of the botanist, when you were stung by the bee, and also when you spoke about 2750 Shades of Grey, about Istanbul, and about the perspective of Hindus. But the way you moved from one sub-point to another by speaking rather quickly could have been improved. Whenever you speak about one sub-point and when you are finished speaking about it, just take a short break and take a break of about 4 to 5 seconds. That will make sure that the audience retains the sub-points better. That will make sure that you flow from one sub-point to another instead of jumping like you have done today. But other than that, even though your hands were clasped in the beginning and the conclusion, they were natural. There were natural hand and voice coordination in the middle of your speech, which was well done, and which tells me that given time you will be ready for project 5 and 6. And also your speech value was really interesting to the audience today, as I would like to repeat again that our idea was about a relevant topic to the audience. Just focus a little bit more on the transitions, and we will do a better job in a project form. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaurya, for a wonderful evaluation. Shaurya covered a lot of points during his evaluation. Alisha, I would like to mention that the main purpose of the project 3 was general and specific purpose. So the general purpose was to inform us, and the thing which I want to tell you was I got a little bit confused about the specific purpose of your speech. Whether we were trying to tell us about the different types of filters, or whether how different type of filters affects us, or whether we should not be afraid of different filters. So, or we should not be afraid of filters whenever we are having problems or trying to put on a different lens. So that was the small thing which got me confused, because project 3 is very, very unique in the sense that you have to be very, very specific about what you want to say, what is your message, what is your conclusion, and all those things. So you have to be a little bit more focused on the message of the speech, because obviously all the points are very good, but at the end the audience should be going home in a 5 to 7 minute speech with one unique message. 5 to 7 minute speech cannot have 3 different messages. That will confuse the audience, and they will not be able to retain later on what you are trying to convey. So otherwise it was a great job. A big round of applause for Alisha. So now moving on to the next session, table topic session. The table topics master was Narayan Rati, and today Narayan, you had a lot of twists and turns because you included 3 sessions in the table topic sessions. And our first speaker was Shilpa Modi, and her speech was "Journey is more enjoyable than the destination." Shilpa, I thought you had a very good speech. You started by talking about fasting and Karwa Chauth and how the journey is more important than how is more enjoyable than the destination and all those things. So it was a great attempt, and I thought that the most important thing is that you spoke on the topic. So great job. Big round of applause for Shilpa. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Archita, and her topic was for every promise there is a price. For every promise there is a price to pay. Archita, I thought that you did the brilliant job in this topic. The most important thing in table topic is to be confident, or at least appear to be confident. But you were confident nonetheless. You started your speech with a very, very relevant topical thing which is related to you about your father, and the brilliant thing about your topic was you concluded on a very high note when you said that no price is too high to get that smile. So it was a very, very good speech with a good opening, lot of confidence, good transition, smoothness, and a very, very conclusion on a very high note. So everything which will relate to a perfect table topic. So big round of applause for Archita. Our next speaker was Neeraj. Neeraj, our topic was a free lunch is always found in mousetrap. Neeraj, I thought that you spoke about lunches and your experience when you're serving food in the place. But I thought that your the things which you said was not quite relatable to the topic itself, because the easy thing is free lunch is always found in a mousetrap means that you have to work hard for the food, otherwise you will get trapped. So it was not kind of related with the topic, otherwise, but great attempt. So big round of applause for Neeraj. Our next speaker was guest, I didn't get the name. Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. Yeah. So guest spoke on this topic. I thought it was a good attempt, coming up on the podium, taking the challenge and speaking in front of so many unknown people. That is the biggest challenge, and you took that challenge. So it was very good. So big round of applause for the guest. Before evaluating the speakers for the next session, I must mention that the next session was quite a torturous session where he was asking all the speakers to come up on stage, and literally you put the fear of God in all the 3 speakers who came up on stage. Rohan, Afzal and myself were all equally worthless. We rambled on and on and on about our topics, but we were stuck in our traffic jam, and the only thing which got us out was the topic, "This too shall pass," so by which we could move out of the session. But the 2 guests who spoke on the topic, they were much, much better than the members. So big round of applause for the 2 guests. discussion of the topic when you asked people to volunteer other guests, other members. So the first speaker was Vishal and his topic was "This too shall pass." Vishal, I thought that you had a great attempt with the topic and it was relevant with the speech which you were giving, that this too shall pass, because you were in an unknown situation, in an unknown country where food was a problem and you were just hoping that this too shall pass. The only thing which I want to say is that if you could have concluded by saying this too shall pass and better time will come and perhaps even better times passes or even good times passes, that could have been better. But otherwise a great topic, relevant to this topic. So big round of applause for Vishal. Then our next speaker, Gaurav, you are like me, don't worry. Or like the president. So improvement begins with I, that is true, that improvement begins with I. We need to first work on ourselves, and this was very conveniently shown in today's table topic session, that improvement begins with I, and you need to come up on the stage to take up the challenge, and then only incrementally you will improve. Finally, our guest Muskan, if you take the plunge, what is the topic? If you take the plunge, you have to swim. You have to swim. So Muskan, you also had a great attempt with the topic, and the biggest challenge is to come up on stage and participating. So you had a smile on your face while you came up on stage, while the other members were literally shivering. So that was a much great job. So big round of applause for Muskan. Can I move on to the role players? The grammarian Anshika, could you please give your feedback?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone, once again.
Good evening.
The word of the day, which was comely, was used twice, once by Toastmaster Siddharth and once by Toastmaster Alisha. Now coming to the good usage of grammar, there were use of alliterations such as perception is a passive process, mesmerizing and magnanimous. There was a use of metaphor like life is a giant tragedy and you are a real victim. The use of phrases such as we build our own reality, your red is the same as my red. Life is, for every promise you fulfill is the reward you get. It's that one smile what really matters. I stood there, I helped those people. This was the use of anaphora, which is repeating the first sentence twice or thrice. Then opportunity don't knock your door twice. Happiness is a state of mind. And polish your skills. Incrementally you will improve. It's your perspective that defines the world you live in. And now the wrong usage of grammar with correct version are: any volunteers can speak. It should be any volunteer can speak. You go to various experiences. Can be said like you experience many things. How she want to improve should be how she wants to improve. Pronunciation mistakes. All was pronounced all. One was pronounced as bone, and bench was pronounced as bench. That's all for myself.
Thank you. Only thing I'm not sure about is that the word of the day is pronounced as comely or comely. I need to go back home and check that out. The R counter Samta, can you give your feedback?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Pauses are something that can make and break your conversation. Make or break your conversation. So this is I'm learning while preparing my P1, Project 1, and from my mentor. So long pauses can be a little difficult for the audience to understand your speech. So there was no long pauses. Every speaker today was comely and fearless. So begin with Toastmaster Afzal. He used filler word 5 times, a filler word 5 times, and Toastmaster Vandana used a 1 time and a short pause. Toastmaster Samta Roy, myself, I used quite a lot of time in my first briefing my role and a short pause. Toastmaster Alisha used a short pause. Toastmaster Narayan Rathi used a 1 once, and Toastmaster Siddharth Churiwal used once. Toastmaster Gaurav used once and a short pause. Toastmaster Gaurav used once, and Toastmaster Anshika used 4 times. Thank you.
Thank you. And the rest were all perfect because they did not speak. The timer, Rohan, could you please give your feedback?
Thank you, Sid Bhaiya. Starting with the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Alisha Khan took 5 minutes and 57 seconds. Now the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Vishal Churiwal took 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Guest Shoaib took 1 minute and 19 seconds. Afzal took 1 minute and 39 seconds. Guest Shweta took 1 minute and 13 seconds. I took 1 minute and 23 seconds. Neeraj took 1 minute and 49 seconds. Archita took 1 minute and 59 seconds. Shilpa ji took 1 minute and 47 seconds. And Gaurav took 1 minute and 28 seconds. And 3 table topic speakers have been disqualified. Sid Bhaiya took only 53 seconds. Guest Muskan took 53 seconds. And Nitesh, our guest Nitesh took 58 seconds. And evaluator Shaurya took 3 minutes and 1 second. So everybody is eligible except 3 guests, Muskan, Nitesh and you.
Even if I was eligible, I would have been surprised if anyone would have voted for me. The parliamentarian man, could you please give your feedback?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Today, 3 of the many parliamentary norms were not followed. First being looking at their phones. So many of the members and the guest do look at their phones, and it is requested from my side that please avoid looking at their phones, and if you really have some urgent work, you can go downstairs while we are applauding and you can have a talk there. Second one being avoid side talks. Some of the Toastmasters and the members continue doing side talks, which is really from my side is requested to all of you to not to do that again. Third being ensuring handshakes. So one of the guests while ending his table topic session was not able to shake his hand with Toastmaster Narayan. And the fourth one specifically is when we address anyone in the Toastmaster session, we should always address them as Toastmaster plus the name and not Sid Bhaiya or something like that. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
I definitely agree with the last part. Everyone please note. So our next speaker is the wow counter who has been guilty of the first crime. So Toastmaster Shamita.
Good evening, yes, and Toastmasters. Today's meeting was a wow in itself, I guess. Very well conducted meeting, I must say. The MC was exceptional. You have such a grip when you speak. Overall wow moments, I cannot just latch onto one, so I've got 2 wow moments that actually are worth the person themselves. And the first one is Archita again. The way you speak, again, I would say this, that you have this confidence and sensibility and logic in your words. And you know what, this is a phenomenal skill. So everyone sitting over here, she really has what it takes to go there and speak sense. It's not about having the confidence just to stand up there. It's actually what she says. So well done in that. That's my first wow moment. Our second one is the table topic session. Narayan, I think this is the best table topic session I've experienced since my coming to the meetings, and it was so exciting to watch the entire process. As much as I tried to hide behind Rohan and dodge, I'm very happy about it, but overall the session was phenomenal. The third one is Vishal. I'm just putting this in. Everyone loves you. Everyone loves you. I think everyone wants to be him when it comes to going up on stage, and everyone just wants to look, listen, and want to know what you say. So that's a big wow for me. And yes, overall, I guess that's my report to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So when Shamita was saying that Archita always speaks sense, Ramsel and I were thinking that why we are always senseless.
Today was an exception, I guess.
So moving on to the other role players, our Shilpa Modi, our Sergeant Ram. Shilpa, I thought that you did a fantastic job today. You started the meeting right on time. You had a very, very topical introduction for the President because he recently won the championship for the humorous speech, and he will be representing our club at the division level. So it was a great attempt, and the really good thing was you also spoke about in your beginning comment about traffic jam. So it told me that you had a prior preparation. You spoke with the master of ceremonies before the meeting, and so it came